Welcome back, everyone. Good evening. We're going to learn Halacha on counting the Omer. Yesterday we spoke about someone forgot to count in one of the nights. He then starts counting. He can count during the day without a bracha, and on that night he can start counting with a bracha, unless he completely forgot for 24 hours. If you have a doubt, you can continue counting. And someone that became a bar mitzvah or convert in the middle of Sfiras Omer, you can start counting with a bracha. You can continue counting with a bracha if you counted up to that point. That was yesterday's main points that we discussed, and today we'll speak about the customs of not to do work right before when the time comes to count the Omer. So men and women it's customary not to do work during the time from sunset until they count the Omer, and the prohibition is only primarily on a job that will be prolonged, a long job, something that will take significant amount of time. But chores around the house, like baking, cooking, cleaning, you're allowed to do them. The custom is to learn tractate sota during the days of the counting of the Omer. 1991, the Rebbe on the 28th of Nisan gave a very famous talk. He said, "I've done everything I could to bring Mashiach, and there's a lot of concepts that remain aloof in in the terminology of Hasidus, would mean in the lights of Tohu, remains in the chaotic world, not manifested in the physical vessels. But in order to bring Mashiach here, you have to bring all this potential into actual." And the point was that I did everything I could. I did everything I could. I did my part, and now it's your turn to do your thing. So every Jew has the potential, as the Rambam say, to bring Mashiach. And now we're merited that we have another mitzvah that we can accomplish every day, the mitzvah of counting the Omer. And so today is the 29th of Nisan, and during the first 33 days of counting the Omer, 24,000 disciples of Rabbi Akiva died. And that's why it's customary to have customs of avelus, of mourners, during these days. So the Chabad custom is to have minhage avelus, customs of mourning, during the entire time of the Sfira, of counting, except the day of Lag BaOmer and the 3 days before Shavuos. So the custom of Chabad is not to say Shechianu during Sfiras Omer on new food, except on Shabbos and Lag BaOmer, we're allowed to say Shechianu. So on Shabbos and Lag BaOmer, if you have a new food, keep it for Shabbos, and then you can say Shechianu. Obviously during the time of the counting of the Omer, during this 49 days. Chabad custom is not to take a haircut during the days of Sfiras Omer, all the way till Erev Shavuos, right before Shavuos. Children that made it to the age 3 during Sfiras Omer, if it's before the 33 day of the Omer, so they get their first haircut on Lag BaOmer, but you're not allowed to do the haircut before their time. So if they were born on Shavuos, shouldn't cut their hair. The first haircut you should not give them on Lag BaOmer. Only if they were supposed to get a haircut, let's say today, so you push it until Lag BaOmer. So you give them their haircut on Lag BaOmer. Also, our custom is not to get married during the days of Sfiras Omer. You're allowed to get engaged, allowed to make a meal for the l'chaim, what we call l'chaim, for the engagement party, but not no dancing, no orchestra, no music during the days of Lag BaOmer. And during the 3 days, what we call Shloishes Yimei Hagbala, is the 3 days right before Shavuos. You're allowed to have chuppah you're allowed to make a chuppah. So whoever is anxious to get married can do it now, not today, but the 3 days before Shavuos. So during this time of Sfiras Omer, we have the custom to keep some laws of mourning. And so what do we do? Primarily is we don't take a haircut during the 49 days. If it's a child that it's his third birthday, for the first haircut, he's allowed to take it on Lag BaOmer, on the 33rd day of the Omer. Yesterday we counted 14, so we have about another 2.5 weeks to get to Lag BaOmer. But we shouldn't give him a haircut before the time. If his birthday would be on Shavuos, shouldn't push it. Shouldn't make it earlier. We're allowed to wait with the haircut for 2-3 weeks until Lag BaOmer, till the 33rd day of the Omer. So we don't take a haircut. We don't eat new foods, because you need to say Shechianu. If you want to eat the new food, you should wait for Shabbos, and then you will eat. Then you can say Shechianu and eat the new food or a new garment. Now, when it comes to marriage, we only either on Lag BaOmer or the 3 days before Shavuos, you can have a chuppah with music and dancing. Bruchim to you. I'll make a short, right after I'll make a video of on Tanya. So stick with us.
You think this